Moving on, a large growth area that we're experiencing both in the US and worldwide is related to PFAS analysis. And I believe you assisted a customer in Germany who is doing that work.
Yes, exactly. We were working with a company that do a lot of environmental analysis, and as you mentioned, obviously PFAS is a big part of that. And the main requirements they would have had was handling the PFAS samples as well as other organic solvents, and they were doing things like MTBE, hexane, dichloromethane, ethanol, etc. So they had quite a wide range of requirements. They were doing it in these 50 milliliter vials in a sand bath for PFAS analysis. But again, another issue similar to with the manual things, that the manual situation is their handling of the vials could cause, if basically the vials were floating in a water bath and if they weren't secured properly, they could cause instability. They had quite a wide range of tube sizes that they needed to use for this analysis. There was solvent compatibility issues as they were using quite a few different solvents. And then it's also quite rigid in terms of the flexibility of their application. So they needed something versatile enough to handle the PFAS as well as all the other solvents that they were using. Yeah, again, with your guys' help and some of the knowledge we've had from previous companies doing this stuff, there's a couple of options that this group could have used. In this case, it was again, so the 30 position MULTIVAP, where they can have temperature control. This is mainly for the solvent analysis side of things, or an N-EVAP again as well for slightly larger tube sizes and higher sample throughput. But for PFAS itself, I think the 64 position water bath MULTIVAP was the best solution for them. Yeah, and a couple of the reasons why we settled on that one too was that it was able to hold these 50 milliliter tubes that they were already using without any issues about the handling and instability that they would have had in the way they were doing it before. You can also control the heating a lot more carefully with the water bath system that we provide or that Organomation provide. And then there's also the flexibility that you can actually use different tube sizes as well. So it is the versatile option like they were looking for.
Absolutely. For PFAS analysis, we've seen both the N-EVAP and the MULTIVAP work well for customers. And just to give you some background, the EPA drinking water methods, specifically 533 and 537, reference the Organomation N-EVAP for drying down samples after solid phase extraction. So, in a research setting, people doing PFAS research at universities will rely on the N-EVAP, partially because it's the instrument stated in the method, but also because you're working with slightly smaller batch sizes. So, doing 12 or 24 positions at a time is fine. Where on the other side of that, the commercial laboratories in the US that are seeing their PFAS analysis needs skyrocket, they're transitioning more towards the multi-VAPs where they're able to dry down up to 100 vials at a time. And from what I've seen, most of the PFAS analysis is utilizing pretty standard vial sizes. In this case, you mentioned the 50 ml vials. So that is well suited for batch evaporation, which is why the multivap can be such a good fit there.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you say that the obvious differences between academic versus commercial. So this was a commercial company, and in the end, they actually settled for both the N-EVAP and the MULTIVAP, exactly probably for the reasons you mentioned, where they want to stick to the standard but also increase their throughput at the same time.